This is what Candace had to say about, this is what took over the internet yesterday. Okay. And again, I'm telling you honestly, I don't know. I sent Candace a text message probably about 2 days ago. And I said, Candace, it's Graham. Hey, I got some questions. I just want to talk to you. Candace has not responded to me. Okay. That is the truth. That is the honest to God's truth. I sent Candace a text message. She has not responded to me. Play it. Let's go.
And he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you, and he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp. You know, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. You know, we just need you to come out to Auschwitz.
All right, pause. So it goes on a long way through there. So at the end of the day, what can be deduced, and again, I didn't watch her entire episode, but this is the clip that's going around. Can be deduced as Candace is saying that Israel had something to do with it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? I mean, that seems like a rational deduction of what she's getting at, right? So Bill Ackman actually did respond to this. We'll just read here what Mario says. He kind of sums it up as a huge thing. Bill Ackman is denying Candace Owens' claim that he staged a, quote, intervention to pressure Charlie Kirk on Israel. Quote, this afternoon, Candace slandered me by accusing me of staging an intervention with Charlie Kirk in which threats were made. I have never threatened Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, or anyone associated with him. I have never blackmailed anyone, let alone Charlie. Ackman shared details of his actual interactions with Kirk, describing cordial meetings, conference calls, and a Hamptons gathering. So he does confirm that there was this gathering in the Hamptons with Charlie and a handful of conservative influencers. I don't know when this took place. So a lot of people have been like, well, were you included in that, Graham? No. And I think it's because I was still at the DOD at the time. Like, I don't know, but I was not included in this, but obviously it did happen. But Bill Ackman is denying it. Now, here's the thing. Up next is Andrew Kolvet. Andrew Kolvet last night put this tweet out. Now, for those of you, again, who don't know who Andrew Kolvet is, there is no Charlie Kirk without Andrew Kolvet. He is the Robin to Charlie's Batman. Andrew, even closer than me and Todd, Andrew was with Charlie essentially 97% of Charlie's life. If he wasn't with Erica or legit some closed door meeting that Andrew couldn't get into, which is very rare, okay? Andrew Kolvet was there. This is what Andrew has to say. I have been asked about the Bill Ackman event more than a few times now, so I asked our staff who were traveling with Charlie to find out what's true and what's not. His team was with him, quote, 100% of the time when he wasn't in his hotel room. Here's what they told me. Bill never yelled at Charlie, never pressed him on BB, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. There was concern raised about having Tucker Carlson at SAS. SAS was back in July. So this definitely happened then while I was at the DOD. All right. If this happened before Tucker was speaking at SAS, then I was still at the DOD during this time. And Charlie's reply was, honestly, people telling me not to have Tucker makes me want to have Tucker, and I'm going to lock him in for AmFest too. That's in December. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relationship with Bill and the event was productive. Those are the facts. And if you scroll down just a little bit more, he finishes it up here. For what it's worth, I spoke to all 3 team members, not counting security, who were with him because I wanted to make sure one person hadn't missed the alleged incident. And then somebody says, don't take the shekels, Kolvet. Selling Turning Point over to the Zionists will be the end of Turning Point. Charlie Kirk deserves the truth about his assassination revealed to the public to establish a viable legacy. And Andrew simply responded, just ask the team what happened because I wanted to know too. Had they said the opposite, I would have said so. Take it as you will. So those are the things that we know right now, okay? And I told you before the beginning of this that we would talk about it. We'd put it out there. I don't have an opinion on it right now. Like I said, I didn't even see these clips until about 1 o'clock in the morning last night. Todd, if you want to go ahead and say something.
Well, this is all I'll say, okay? And I'm not going to get into it with Candace Owens because I'm not on her level. But I will say this because you say Charlie was like my brother, Charlie was my best friend, Charlie this, Charlie that. All right, this man right here is probably my best friend right now. It hasn't even been a week, Candace. Like, it hasn't been a week. Like, I can tell you beyond all shadow of a doubt that if something happened to this man right here, within the first 7 days of him being taken away from us, I wouldn't be spinning crazy notions and talking crazy stuff just to get clicks, sister girl. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's the truth or not, like, I think it's in really poor taste if he was supposed to be your friend. I just, inviting discord and inviting dissension and inviting confusion when we're all just trying to get over the loss is in poor taste.
I'm going to dive into this. You have my word. I'm not going to rest until I spoke to Dan this morning. I talked to him this morning. I'm going to find out. I will not rest until I know that I know that I know that I know what happened to my friend Charlie. Because unlike many of you, Charlie was my friend. There would be no me without Charlie Kirk. So I promise you that there are a few people that care about this as much as I do. Obviously, his family, obviously, people that he worked with Turning Point to start it, but there would be no Dear America without Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to find out. I don't have an opinion on what Candace said right now because I don't have an opinion. But I'm going to find out. I promise you. I promise you that. I'm not going to rest. We're going to keep talking about this until we find out. I miss my friend. Mm-hmm. Charlie, I would be sending Charlie a text right now if it had been somebody else. What do you think about all this? That's the crazy part. I'd send Charlie a text. What do you think about this? Just hang on. And I know that we got to raid to Vince, and I know, but so go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and do it, man, because it's 9:01.
But look, I just want you guys to see this. Cover it up right there. Oh, geez.
Yeah, don't voice call him.
I'm never going to delete this out of my phone. Charlie was my friend. Nobody Nobody's gonna stop. Nobody's gonna stop until I find out what happened. I promise you that. I promise you that.